Well, Opuiyo, I mean, you were involved in one of the first sort of people movement transport-related projects in some of the groundbreaking toll road projects in Nigeria. Perhaps you want to just give us a bit of background about that and what your fund's focusing on now in terms of projects.
Yeah, thanks a lot for the question and for having us here. The toll road, the Lekki Toll Road concession, was one that we did before we set up the Heritage Infrastructure Fund, so there's some history there. And the approach there was we actually developed that from complete initiation all the way through to financial close. I personally was privileged to run that project as the CEO of the Lekki Toll Road concession for like 7 years. And we eventually successfully exited from that transaction in 2014. Very interesting period. At the time that we were actually developing that project, a lot of people just thought we were totally crazy. They didn't think it was doable at all. They didn't think we'd get to financial close. And quite interestingly, in 2008, when we achieved financial close on what was a $430 million capital raise, debt and equity, you might remember that the global markets were actually right at the bottom. It was all in turmoil. But that demonstrated to us that when you can structure deals properly, you can bring in the right partners and you can demonstrate ability to execute, capital normally does follow. Since then, we've established the ARM Heritage Infrastructure Fund, which has a West Africa focus geographically. And in terms of projects, we are looking at transportation, energy, and utilities types projects. The last two transactions we've done, we closed, the first close was done in January 2015. And in December 2015, we were part of a group of investors that closed the Azuro Edo IPP. It's a 459 megawatt open cycle thermal power generation plant right now under construction in a place called Benin City in Nigeria. The total capital cost of that project is $868 million. And currently, we're on target, in fact, ahead of program, to have power into supply mid to end of 2018. In December of last year, we closed the Amandi IPP, which is an approximately 200 megawatt combined cycle power generation plant, which is right now already under construction on the outskirts of Abuadze in Ghana. That's looking like it will have power into supply in 2019. And besides that, on the transportation space, we're keenly watching what's happening on the airport side. The Nigerian government says it's going to concession 4 federal airports: Lagos, Abuja, Kano, and Port Harcourt. Incidentally, from the ARM side of our GP structure, we have a long history actually in airports because we happened to win the Abuja airport concession back in 2006 in a process adjudicated by the IFC. For some strange reasons, after taking our concession fee, the Nigerian government decided it was changing its plan from concessioning, and it took several years to fight and get our money back, but get the money back we did. We also see there's an airport that's being right now developed in Lagos, an international airport. Incidentally, as I speak, I have some people in a meeting on that right now in Lagos. And there's several other power transactions. We're actively right now developing a 100 megawatt solar power plant in the north of Nigeria, which will hopefully close this year, maybe to Q1 of next year. So there's quite a bit going on right now.
Okay, that's interesting. And those particular projects, are they attracting domestic pension fund participation?
Well, I can indirectly, yes. I mean, we have a number of pension funds invested in our fund. And so in that regard, pension funds are already part of that story. I don't know that the pension funds have yet graduated to sort of directly co-invest, albeit that we have given them co-investment rights to do that. But we continue to talk to them about, we think that it's fairly okay to take equity risk, especially when you have the right protections, partial risk guarantees, political risk insurance, robust EPC contractors, and various other ways of laying off that risk. But we also create the space that when you get through the construction hump, you can also refinance. So take, for example, the Lekki Toll Road. If I still own that today, I would have put that into the bond markets straight away. And you've got tolls being collected steadily. The traffic volumes are also very predictable. It's been totally socialized. So yes, it's a great opportunity for pension funds.
Doing business in Africa, you can't afford to be without Africa Investor.